I'm Noelle, and welcome to my channel, Black Crow Yoga. Today's practice is a flow that's going to work through the entire body, the legs, the hips, the spine, and a little bit of core work. Now there's lots of fun options along the way if you're looking for something stronger, something to challenge you. But the gentler options, the steps along the way, are perfect for you to just stay and choose your level of practice today. Particularly if you're working with any kind of injuries, any kind of limitations in your body, find the practice that suits your body. So remember, this practice is yours, and simply by showing up on your mat, taking time to slow down, connecting with your breath, that's your yoga. So have some fun. When you're ready, let's begin. We'll start in a Vrajasana pose, so sitting on the shins, and you can sit with the tops of the feet on the mat. You can take a little bit of support underneath you, a bolster, a block, a cushion, to lessen the compression behind your knees, something that allows you to just settle and just be present. So closing your eyes down, drawing your gaze inwards. Your palms can rest face down on the legs if you're feeling a little bit anxious or agitated and you need time to settle and feel a little more connected. If you're feeling a little lethargic and you need a little lift, turn your palms and face them upwards. And just allow your breath to concentrate in and out through your nose. Starting our practice always with a relationship to breath. So starting off to notice how your breath feels this morning. Whether it's shallow, whether it's quick, just allowing it to find its own rhythm in its own time. And as the body settles and becomes a little more still, see if you can allow the breath to go a little deeper, all the way down to the belly. And then that's softening as you release, emptying fully. Take 3 more long, slow, steady breaths. Finding this pace, this rhythm that you can stay connected to through your practice. Slowly blink open your eyes. A little roll of the shoulders, forward and back. And begin. So take your props out of the way if you use them. Come to just tuck your toes under, bring your knees together, feet together. Just use your hands as you lean forward and start to lift your knees up and down a couple of times. Just feel an awakening into the feet. Slowly walk your hands back, keeping the knees squeezing together, sitting back on the heels, toes down. Release your hands onto your legs. If you find this a little unsteady, and simply by squeezing the thighs together still doesn't help, popping a block just behind your heels can help you steady yourself as you hold the pose. Bring your hands to your heart for a moment. Find that steadiness. And then bringing your hands into a mudra, Ganeshi mudra. Turn your left hand down, palm faces down. Right thumb is up, and just hook your fingers together. Gently pull the elbows apart, as if you're trying to break the mudra. Bring the fingers just alongside your sternum. So this mudra, Ganeshi mudra, is the warrior mudra. It's a mudra of strength. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Now slowly start to rotate towards your right side, keeping the knees facing forward, thighs squeezing together. Just a little gentle rotation. Slowly come back to center. Break the mudra and switch the grip. Turning your left thumb up, your right thumb down. Take an inhale, take an exhale. Slowly turn to your left side, rotating from the belly, knees, thighs squeezing together. Slowly release, bring it back, and set the knees down. Take your hands in, give your toes a little bit of a tap out, and then come stand on your knees. Take your hands together, palms touch, bring your hands overhead and inhale. Reach tall, keeping the spine nice and long, nice and straight. Just lean back as you bring your hands forward. So body stays straight, just warming up the quads. Inhale to lift. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, lift. So body's not arching, spine's not flexing, long straight line, gently pressing your hips forward, holding here now for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Stick your hands down, knees under your hips, hands, wrists under your shoulders. Take a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling with your breath as you arch your spine. Exhaling as you round and flex. Inhale to round. Exhale, gently arch. Moving in time with your own breath. Come back to neutral. Just tense your fingertips, tuck your toes, and just get heavy with your hips as you reach back to an active child pose. Let the head come down for a moment and reach your fingers forward a little more to lengthen your spine. Fingers reaching away from the hips. Hips get heavy towards the heels. Slowly release as you come up. Bring your hands behind your fingertips, face away. Fingers are still tented. Inhale to open your chest. Lift your chin, lift your gaze. Option to stay hips heavy on the heels, or you might like to lift them and drop the head back. Slowly set the hips down and come back to all fours. Take your right leg behind you, tuck your toes, so press your toes into the mat and get some length into the back of the right leg. Left toe stay tucked. As you inhale, lift your right leg and arch your spine. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower your chest and chin to the mat. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to lower, keeping that right leg extended. Inhale, lift. Last time, lower. This time, lift your left knee, pressing your left toe, and find down dog splits. Right leg stays high. Get heavy in your left heel. Now bend your right knee, bring it forward and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Gently open this right knee into a figure 4 and see if you can get a little heavier in that left heel. Walk your hands back a little. Option to stay or lighten off your left hand and just reach it back. As you reach it back, maybe you catch somewhere along this left leg. If you connect, gently press the right hand a little heavier, get a little heavier in the left heel. It doesn't matter if you've got a bend in this left leg, hamstrings might be still a little creaky, just giving them time to open. Slowly release if you've caught the foot, walk your hands forward, take your right leg back up, down dog splits. Inhale at the top. Exhale, step through between your hands, left knee lowers. Take your arms up for Anjaneyasana. Inhale at the top as you reach your fingers. As you exhale, just slide your hips forward, open your chest a little. Slowly take your left hand down, bend your back leg. Reach your right hand back. If the foot connects with the hand easily, take hold of it, draw it in, open the chest a little more. If you don't connect easily, don't stress, just reach the hand back and flex the foot as you guide it in towards the glute. Slowly let it go. Take your hands, frame your front foot. Lift your back knee. Low lunge. As you inhale, open your chest. As you exhale, straighten that front leg. So blocks are helpful here for a little bit of support. Rebend the knee, open the chest. Exhale, straighten this leg. Again, any amount. You're just warming up the hamstring. Inhale to open the chest, lean forward. Exhale, straighten. Just hold it here. And again, bow any amount over this leg. Option to curl your toes, flexing a little more into the foot, getting a little heavier into the back foot. Reminding yourself to connect with your breath, noticing when you need to pull back a little. Slowly release, rebend the knee. Reach your fingers forward now. As you reach forward, bend your right knee, bend your left, and tuck your left knee behind your right. A little Shiva squat. So tucking in, making a nice compact shape. Fingertips can be on the mat. You might take your hands to the block, or some of you will take your hands to your heart, intensifying the sensation in the right leg muscles. Just little pulses, tiny baby bends with that right knee, keeping both feet flexed. Just warming up into the right glutes, the right leg. Now realigning yourself for a half moon. Move slowly. Take your hand to the mat or the block. Left hand to your waist. Extend your left leg and start to peel open the left side of the body. As you move from a closed, compact shape to an open, expanded one, allow your breath to flow from the center all the way out to the limbs. Breathe in and out. Take a little bend in the right knee. Your warrior two is your release, so land it slowly and extend your arms. So adjust your stance. If it's a little short, walk the front foot forward. Bending into the front leg, extending through your arms. Find the anchor in your back foot, keeping your right knee bent, and take that same Ganesh mudra, hooking the fingers together, gently pulling them as if you're trying to break the mudra thumbs face away from each other. As you pull your elbows apart, feel a broadening in the front of the body and an expansion in the back of the body. Stay, or you can hook the mudra, taking it behind the head. Bringing the hands towards that left shoulder, left elbow reaches down, right elbow up, and just rest your head onto your forearm. Keep the bend in the right knee, leaning back into the forearm. Lift the right elbow up a little, the left elbow down a little. Stay in that position as you release your arms for your reversed warrior. Inhale here. As you exhale, come back to warrior two. Extended side stretch. Keep reaching the right hand forward. Rest the elbow on the knee. Take the left arm up or over the head. Slide a little more into this front hip. Inhale here. As you exhale, release and frame your front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot and walk your right foot all the way over to the left hand. Step forward, take your left knee down. As you sit, finding a seated twist, right leg over left. Find your sit bones. And then gather this right knee and holding it into the arms. As you inhale, bringing the hips into it, pull the knee into the chest to find length. As you exhale, press the knee into the arms to find the twist. Inhale, gather the knee in, find length. Exhale, press it away to find the twist. Again, inhale, pull it in. Exhale, extend. One last time, breathe in. As you extend, just release your hands. Lean your hands behind you. Lift your legs. Your left foot places down. Your right leg's already in place for a figure four. Start to come down onto your forearms, down onto your back body, and bring your left knee in towards you. Supine pigeon. Holding just under the knees, you gather it in. Relax the head, keep the spine long. Keep the right foot flexed. And you might find holding under the knee or just behind the hamstring is enough for you. Just gather the knee into a point where you feel the sensation into this right hip, deep into the glutes. If you're holding under the knee, release that and slip the hands behind the hamstring and start to straighten into that left leg, pressing the heel up towards the ceiling, curl your toes. That might be enough to open up the back of the leg. Some of you might reach the hands up, catch hold of that left foot and draw it a little closer to you. Try not to force or strain into the leg and avoid that locking into the knee. You're just creating it if it's available. Hands can be anywhere along the leg. You just want to open the back of the leg. Take another breath in wherever you are. And out. As you bend the left knee, Unpack the right and just rock to come up. As you come up, just rest your toes on the mat. Boat pose. Take your hands behind your knees. Lean back a little. Lift right foot, then left foot. You can stay holding the legs. You can take your hands behind to support you, or you can reach your arms forward. I'm just going to draw the knees in and out a little. So not a full or half boat, just more of a little quarter way. Extending long, drawing it in, just getting a little warmth into the core body. Remember, this can be done with the hands supporting you, but keep the touch light. So it's really just a support rather than too much weight into it. Cross your ankles now, place your palms and step it back to a plank pose. Take a breath in at the top of your plank. With or without the knees down, lower to the belly. Untuck the toes at the bottom. Take your hands by your side, palms face up, forehead rest. As you inhale, lift your shoulder bones, your arm bones. Pull your navel to your spine, so drawing the belly in. Keep that as you lift the right foot, the left foot, lifting the hands, maybe floating the head. Try to draw the belly in and breathe. Slowly release, hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes. Tenting your fingers as you press back to that child pose again. Hips are heavy. Big inhale, long exhale. Slowly come up, bring your fingertips behind you, staying with that same open chest, hands on the mat. Or some of you will take your hands to your heels, gently press your hips and open for a camel. Coming down nice and slowly, gently release the hips. Walk your hands forward and we'll take it to the left side. So left toes press behind you. Inhale, lift the leg. Arch your spine as you breathe in. As you breathe out, bend your elbows, lower chin and chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Last time to lower. This time as you lift, lift your right knee, come up to your down dog splits. Big breath in, heavy in your heel as you breathe out. Bring your left knee forward and cross your left ankle over your right. And get heavier in that heel. Walk your hands back a little so you're shortening your dog. Stay or lighten off your right fingertips. Take your hand back and catch somewhere along that right leg. Yeah. This is tricky, so the connection of the heel is important. The hand is supporting you, which is why you shorten your stance a little. If you've connected, release it slowly and lengthen your stance again. Take your left leg all the way back up for down dog splits. Breathe in. As you breathe out, step it through. Right knee down. And Janiyasana, take your arms, reach them up. And exhale, release, take that right hand down. Bending your back knee, flexing the foot, bring it in. Either reaching the hand back, maybe it connects. If you connect it, bring it in, just enough to open the chest a little. Simple inhales, exhales. So that relationship with your breath is what allows you to know where to take the pose, whether to pull back or whether to take it deeper. Slowly release the foot. Low lunge, line your fingertips up with your front ankle, lift your back knee. Again, inhale to open your chest, rock it forward. As you rock the hip back, straighten that left leg and bow. Inhale, bend and open. Exhale, draw it back. Again, inhale. Exhale, draw it back. Hold it here, and again, you might flex the foot, place the hands down on the block or the mat, bow any amount over the leg. Don't worry if you have a bend in the knee. Sometimes the hamstrings take a while to loosen. Slowly release. Reach your fingertips forward. Now bend your left knee. Bend your right and tuck it behind. Little Shiva squats. As you take those little pulses, keep the chest open. Fingertips can support you on the mat, on the block, or hands to heart. A little more intense. Stay low and deep into this compact shape and really feel the sensation into that left hip. When you're ready, we're realigning for a half moon. So move slowly, left hand down on the support of the mat or the block. Start to extend that right leg. Take the right hand to the waist. As you open the body, try to move from your center and take that space all the way out to the limbs. Let the breath settle. Find the shape of the pose that works for you. Now your warrior two, as you release, bend your knee nice and deep as you land that right leg back for a warrior two. Sweep the arms up and over. Maybe lengthen your stance a little if it feels a little short. Ideally, the hips are level with that front thigh. Extend through both arms, front and back. Then take your Ganesh Mudra as you thumb faces down, right thumb up, hook and switch the fingers. As you grip them, gently pull them apart. Bring your hands towards your chest and broaden the front of the body, the back of the body. Stay deep in that front knee. Option to take your mudra behind your head. Take a moment till the left elbow reaches up. The right elbow is heavy towards the back foot. Allow the head to lean back into the forearm. Get a little heavier with that right elbow. Left elbow opens up the left side of the body a little more. Keep that shape and release your mudra. Right hand down, left arm up. Coming back through your warrior two. And then extend your side stretch by reaching forward, rest the elbow, right arm up or over the ear. Breathe. Try not to get too heavy in this front shoulder. Slowly release. Take your hands, come back to your forward low lunge. Walk this left foot over towards the right hand and step your right foot forward. Take your right knee down. Come to sit into your seated twist. Gather the knees, so by drawing it in rather than taking it forward, you'll bring both hips into it. So gather the knee in. As you pull the knee into your chest, find that lift. Then press that against the arms to find the rotation. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, press it away. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, press it away. Last time, pull it in. This time, release the hands as you press it away. And lift that right foot to the mat. You're already in a figure four. Moving down into your supine pigeon. Getting into your hips as you externally rotate the left side now. Bring the right leg in. Again, you can reach there as you throw the hands. You might catch underneath the shin. Get a little deeper, or you might just be happy to take the hands behind the hamstrings. Find what works, where you can find the sensation deep in this left glute. Left foot stays flexed, protecting the knee. If you're holding just under the knee, release it and take behind the hamstring and straighten into that right leg. Any amount, doesn't matter if it has a bend. You're just trying to explore how much space you've got in that right hamstring. Staying right there, or taking the hands in front, starting to reach them up the leg, maybe up to the foot. Again, as you draw it a little closer towards you, keep this left knee pressing away. So that energetic push-pull sensation is what will give you the most benefit here. No strain, no effort, just an opening. Slowly release, bend the knees. Slip the hands behind your knees as you rock up and down a couple of times and rinse out the spine. This time as you rock up, bring the feet hip distance, plant them down. Hands behind your fingers, face towards your feet. Inhale for a tabletop, hips lift up, look down, knees go forward. Exhale, set the hips down and back, pull the knees to the chest. Set them down, inhale to tabletop. Exhale, pull the knees in. One more, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, draw the knees in, just hold. And then cross your ankles, release. Hands down, step or maybe float back to a plank pose. Take a breath in at the top of your plank. Your exhale is going to bring you all the way to the belly. Fine to take the knees down or keep them floating. At the bottom, untuck your toes. Take your left arm forward. Take your right hand behind, bend your right knee. Left side of the body takes Shalabhasana. Right side of the body takes bow. Lift. Try to lift both sets of thighs off the mat. Try to keep the shoulders squared off. Breathe deep into the belly. Exhale, release. Change sides, right hand forward. Left hand reaches back. Inhale, the right side of the body, Shalabhasana. Left side is bow. Breathe. And release. Hands under your shoulders. Taking that child pose again as you get heavy in the hips, tent the fingers, just lengthen. Slide your hands back, taking that lift, that variation of camel, simply by lifting the hips or maybe hands onto the heels, pressing the hips forward, opening the chest. Slowly release. Hands forward, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Bend the knees deep and then lengthen. Inhale, bend them deep and lengthen. Last time, bend, lengthen. Keep the left heel connected, right leg lifts. Exhale, step through between your hands, take your left knee down, take your arms up for your Anjaneyasana. Slide forward into the hips a little. Now bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, but keep them open. As you flex and bend that left knee, maybe you can hook the hands underneath onto the top of the foot and draw it in. Steady in your right foot. Let it go nice and slowly. Release your hands down. Find your low lunge, lifting the back leg. Inhale, open your chest as you rock forward onto the balls of the feet. As you rock back, straighten that right leg. 2 more. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, draw it back. Last time, forward. Exhale, draw it back. Now step that back foot in and get heavy in the heel. Curling that right toes towards you. Take your hands back a little and just bow any amount over this leg. Slowly release, bend the knee. Reach your hands forward for your little Shiva squat, bending right knee, tucking left knee behind. Hands can support you or take your hands to your heart. Just hold here and find a compact little shape. Curling the body. Breathe. Take your right hand down, opening for your half moon, nice and slowly. Expanding from your center. Peel open your left shoulder. Left arm reaches up. Option to bend that back knee. Maybe you catch the foot, open the chest a little more. Move slowly as you transition. And then slowly release. Now left hand comes down, shoulders are squared off. Plant your hands. We're going to have a little play here, coming into a crow from this half moon. Option is totally fine. Take the foot down, take a little Shiva squat and curl into a little garland shape. If you're taking a crow with me, bend the elbows, come onto the toes of the right foot, tuck your left knee in, bend the elbows, set the left knee onto the left tricep. Lean forward, hug the left foot into the glutes. As you lean forward, maybe the right foot joins it. Hug it in. Breathe deep. And set the feet down. Stepping back, plank pose. Take a breath in at the top. Your exhale brings you all the way to the belly. Untuck your toes. Take your left leg up, take your left hand behind. This time take your right hand, catching the foot with both arms. As you lift, extend the right leg. See if you can lift both thighs off the mat. Flex the foot, lift a little higher, pull your elbows in. And set it down. Release your hands. Take it to the right side, holding the right foot with both hands. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lengthen that left leg. Breathing in, breathing out. And release. Hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes, coming through tabletop or back through a high plank. Finding your downward facing dog. Big breath out. Long breath out. Lift the left leg high, heavy with your right heel. Inhale at the top, exhale, step through. Lower the knee, take your Anjaneyasana, arms reach straight up, slide into your hips. Now take your hands behind and again interlace the fingers the opposite way, but keep them open, heels of the hands apart. As you slide forward, bend that back heel in. Maybe you hook the hands underneath the foot and draw it in. Slowly release, take your hands forward, line them up with your fingers, lift your back knee. Inhale for your low lunge, exhale for pyramid. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lengthen and bow. Last time, open. Exhale to bow. Now shorten your stance, take your heel down so you got a good connection. Take your hands back any amount. Again, your blocks are here, your fingertips help lengthen. Anything that allows you to find length to bring the body a little deeper. If it feels nice, flexing the feet. Breathe. Slowly release. Fingers forward. Tucking your right knee behind your left for your little Shiva squat. This time you're going to hold nice compact shape. Curl everything into the midline. Maybe hands come to heart. Breathe. Now from this compression, you're going to open and expand. Left hand down, opening for your half moon. Taking that right arm up, opening the side body and expand. Take that back with you now as we come either to your little Shiva squat, remember that's available, or play with coming into crow with a little more awkwardness. Right knee tucks in first to that right arm. Left knee tucks in, meeting the feet at the hips. And you can have a little play coming to a tripod headstand from here if it's in your practice. Otherwise you're just going to take the feet down. Slowly bend. Take the crown of the head to the mat. Once you feel stable, press your hands down. Bring your knees, tuck them into your chest. Slowly start to extend one or both legs all the way up to your headstand. Taking time. Option to come out the same way, folding the knees back in. Or you can take a drop into a high plank. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale lower all the way to the belly. Untuck your toes. Release your hands down by your side. And we'll take a bow pose. Bend knees. Reach your hands, catching hold of the ankles, the tops of the feet. Flex the feet. With an inhale, lift the head, the chest. Lift the feet. Try to bring the knees towards each other so they're not splaying out. Breathe. And slowly release. Hands under your shoulders. Again, find that child pose. Knees together, fingertips on the mat. Resting the hips back. Let the forearms drop. Relax the shoulders. Let the breath settle. Slowly release. Take your hips high. Inhale your right leg up, bend the knee. And then bring your right knee behind your right wrist. We'll just finish with a pigeon pose. Walk that left foot back behind you. Try to settle the hips. If you need a little bit of support, the block is a little bit firm, so maybe a blanket folded or a cushion underneath that right hip. Take a moment to lift tall, open the chest. And then allow yourself to fold forward. Take your time coming there. Forearms, palms can touch. Rest your head. Maybe you bend your elbows and bring thumbs to the base of the skull. Lengthening your elbows away to get into the tricep, adding them into the stretch. Otherwise, you can cross the forearms, rest the head for a little bit more height, more support. Now, taking care with this front knee. If anything doesn't feel good, you're working with any knee issues, that same supine pigeon we took is always an option. Lying on the back, it's a little gentler, a little easier. The knee can stay down, gently opening the knee. Breathe. Slowly bring yourself up, hands support you on the mat, tuck your back toes and take your right leg back. Take a moment, just pedal it out. Release any compression, any tightness in the leg. And we'll take it to the other side. Left leg lifts, just bend and open that knee a little. And then bring the knee behind the left wrist. Again, adjust the angle, so it might be a little different on this side to the other side. So angle back towards that opposite hip. If it's a little more forward for those of you that have a little more openness, keeping the foot flexed. Or taking that supine version, if that's what works for you. Take a moment to find that lift again if you need a little bit of padding under this left side. Otherwise, I like that little bit of spice, so it allows that movement. But that awareness to keep the hips nice and stable. Come slowly as you fold forward. Forearms inch forward, just to the point that feels nurturing and restorative for you. Let the head relax. Maybe you brought the hands together, folded the elbows, thumbs to the base of the skull. Taking your time to release, coming out slowly. This time just sit yourself onto your left side and sweep your legs forward. Feet hip distance, take your hands under your knees, press your knees back into that hands. Inhale, find a couple of rounds of cat-cow just to release the spine. Inhaling, exhaling, lengthening, pulling the belly in. Inhale, open, expanding right across the chest. Exhale, gently draw the belly in. One more time, inhale, open. This time your exhale releases the hands, allow yourself to roll slowly down, keeping that rounding in your spine. Bring the knees with you into the chest. Take a little moment to rock side to side, forward and back, and create little circles with your hips in around the circumference of that sacrum. Letting go any tightness, any tension. Take the circles the other way. A nice easy twist. Take your arms wide. You can cactus them if you have a little less space. Bring your knees nice and close to the chest. Keep the knees, the ankles stacked, and just drop them to the left side. So as you drop, your right hip is stacked over your left. Knees stacked, ankles stacked. Now let this right shoulder just lift, just so you can connect and land. And you might pad it up. You might put a cushion or something underneath the legs. Use this left hand just to ground them, help to get a little heavier and help with gravity's pull as the legs connect. And then bring your awareness to that right side. Just allow the arm to peel open and let it just get heavy. And slowly but surely it'll just drift back towards this right side. All you're looking for is an openness from your armpit to this hip. So you just get that sense of length and breathe into this right side of the body. Head can stay in neutral, or you can turn it and bring the neck into the twist, turning towards that right arm. Take another full breath in here. Stay for the out breath. And then slowly with an in-breath, come back to center, keeping the knees in that tight, compact shape. Keep them hugging together, and just let them drop over to the right side this time. Again, just let this left shoulder lift till you land and connect to the right side of the mat with the bolster, whatever you're using to connect the legs to. Once you feel that connection, right hand adds a little bit of grounding, and then peel the left arm away from you. Turning the head if that suits your neck. You can always stay in neutral. And just look for that expansion, hip to armpit. Take another breath in and out. Bring yourself back with an inhale. Again, any movements that feel natural to you before your Shavasana, go ahead. You might take a happy baby, you might just simply take an upside down child pose. In your own time, extend your legs long, your arms wide. Taking a traditional Shavasana, if that's how you like to end your practice. Making sure you're warm, making sure you have a little support underneath you. You can join me in a seated Shavasana to finish your practice by coming back where you started from. Sitting in a seated position that's comfortable, allows your spine to stay lifted. It might be cross-legged, it might be half lotus, it might be back to your Vrajasana pose. Get the spine long. Your inhales lengthen and grow the spine long. And your exhales bring a little solidity, a little groundedness to your base. Together in front of your lap, so turning your left hand up, place your right hand and just cup it underneath. Palms face up, your thumbs just gently touch, and just rest the hands, Dhyani Mudra, into your lap. Whether you're lying or seated, close your eyes. And just allow the breath to come back to its natural, comfortable pace. Without effort. And find your Shavasana. If you have the time to stay, take as long as you can for your Shavasana. If you need to get on with your day, bring your palms to touch. And I thank you for joining me today. Namaste.